during that year, before the disappearance, did she ever describe Sandy to you?
I never heard a description of Zanny until all this stuff happened in July of 2008.
Have you ever seen a picture of Zanny?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've looked at her many times, sir,
Okay.
and I feel sorry for her being here.
So let me ask you a very specific question.
And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I feel sorry that you have to go through this.
It would have just all blown away for her if she wouldn't have gone and had her little Channel 6 and then Mr. Morgan parading her all around. So
I appreciate you want to say all that, ma'am.
Well,
but you
I'm
know
telling
what?
you the truth.
But I'm not asking you those questions. I'm really not. So
I
let's
know
just
you're
make
not.
it.
That's okay.
About 5'7"-ish. She's just like maybe an inch or two shorter than Dad, so 5'6", 5'7". Very thin, maybe a little bit more meat than me, about 140-ish.
She's not 25 years old. She's not 5'7". She's not 140 pounds. She doesn't have black hair. She doesn't have perfect teeth. She's not a 10. I'm sorry, ma'am. You're cute, but you're not a 10.
Well, ma'am.
She's referring to the imaginary nanny, according to police, that performed an imaginary kidnapping of little Kelly. She's describing a would-be kidnapper. Tonight, have secret surveillance photos of an Amscot check cashing parking lot emerged? And do they pinpoint the time Top Mom abandoned her car? Air samples from that car trunk definitely prove a human decomposing body had been there. Out to Leonard Padilla, bounty hunter. He will be under oath in this case. Leonard, what do you make of it? What do you believe we can learn if there is Amscot surveillance video and these are the photos? What will we learn from it finally?
Well, if the cameras are properly positioned based on where the car was parked or moving in and around, I believe that there could be some evidence that would be forthcoming. However, you know, I'm not quite sure about that because it would have been something that the law enforcement would have released long ago if they had something positive with those cameras.
But what would they show to Detective Lieutenant Stephen Rogers out of Nutley, New Jersey? What could we learn from these photos? Obviously, we're going to learn the time and the date. It's going to be stamped with that. We'll know precisely when the car was left. We already know where she had been driving around looking for a place to dump the car, according to police, because of her cell phone pings. But what will we learn? If it's surveillance video, will we see her checking the car? What will we see? What can we potentially learn?
Nancy, you're thinking along the lines of a good detective. Yes, you might find her going in and out of that car, moving around that car. This is the smoking gun, I believe, that the police were waiting for. They have it, and we're going to see more of it, I'm sure.
To Ellie Jostad, our chief editorial producer. Ellie, the evidence has not been released yet. It's been given to the defense, but not to the public. Why?
Right. Well, in this case, we've seen the state has all along, they've turned things over to the defense. Maybe a week or two later, they've released it to the public. And we just found out that the defense has now gotten those Amscot photos, as well as some interviews from Leonard Padilla, his associates Rob Dick and Tracy McLaughlin, as well as about 500 pages of other evidence that aren't described in the paperwork.
And also, Ellie, tonight apparently airing on Law and Order Special Victims Unit is a scenario identical to this case. Explain. You're seeing the video from ABC.com of the episode.
Right. They like to do these rip from the headlines type episodes, and this one has a woman who was a little girl who goes missing. She's reported missing by her grandmother. The grandmother says
that. Let's take a look.
Sorry.
She used my car when she was away. Now, Sierra's gone, and the car smells like a dead body.
Now, that apparently is the mock-up of grandmother Cindy. Go ahead, Ellie. What were you saying?
Right. And this grandmother comes in, tells police that her daughter and some girlfriends went down to Atlantic City for the weekend. The daughter comes back, but no little girl. And the grandmother says the car smells like a dead body. Then cops go find the daughter. She says she's with the babysitter.
Here it is, Elle.
Special Victims Unit, how can I help you? I haven't seen my granddaughter in 4 days. She's only 11 months old.
Does she live with you?
My daughter went to Atlantic City with some girlfriends for the weekend. She's been home for over a day, and I haven't seen my grandbaby since.
And you think your daughter had something to do with her disappearance?
She used my car when she was away. Now, Sierra's gone. And the car smells like a dead body.
That's the video from NBC.com of the Law & Order SVU episode that's airing. Ellie, bottom line is this is going to be on NBC.
Correct.
A huge, huge audience pool.
Mm-hmm.
My question tonight is, has the defense in any way tried to stop it with a concern that it could taint the jury pool?
Not as far as we know, but the producers of the show did say, don't draw too many parallels. Their case takes a little different turn than the Anthony story.
To Joe Lawless out of the Philadelphia jurisdiction, how, if at all, will this affect the jury pool? Apparently, they teased the episode by saying maybe the grandparents shouldn't watch it, so I don't think it's going to have a positive ending.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, you could try to stop it. You're not going to be able to. The First Amendment's going to prevent it. But it's going to cause problems because this stuff gets imprinted on the public's mind, and the TV series molds into reality, and then you try to pick a jury
It's going to
that's
cause
not going to form an opinion,
It's
and
going
it's
to
going to
cause
cause a problem.
problems. You know what? Boo-hoo. The problem is little Kelly was murdered, and her mother is the chief suspect. That's the problem, Lawless, not
She has to get
NBC
a
Law
fair
and Order.
trial. The problem is she has to get a fair trial, and this is going to interfere with that.